Hi, welcome back. This is I'm Marissa.
Yep, she's
Oh
Marissa.
my goodness, who are you?
Josiah.
Awesome. Some of you are actually new to our emails, and some of you are new to our support team. But welcome. I'm excited that you're here, and we just want to give you an update about the start of the school year. Josiah, what happened? How was it?
We had new student week.
We had new student week. The first 2 weeks, new student week, is when all the new students, the freshmen and the transfer students, come for a week before classes even start, and it's full of events. So that way they can get acclimated to the campus and build friendships. And let's just say that week and then the first week of school are the busiest 2 weeks of the year for us. It's insane. Yeah. What were some of the things that happened during the student week?
Let's see. We had a football game.
Mm-hmm.
That was really fun.
Yep.
Um, we had a dance with a bunch of freshmen, so that was a party.
Yeah, I
And we actually met quite a bit of people there.
we did.
Oh, and then we had tabling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like, oh, I should have showed you my calendar, but it's like our calendars are super full because every morning we would start off with prayer and Bible reading before um, meeting students. So a bunch of us from the church would get together on campus to do this and then spend their day. Sometimes being on campus till 11 midnight. One day I was on campus till 1 a.m. It was crazy. Oh, but yeah, the dance, they do a lot of the same events every year, and going to the dance is always a big win because not only are we like on campus meeting people for our church, but also we're swing dance instructors for the swing dance club, and so a lot of people start to recognize who we are just from that dance on Monday. Big win.
Yeah, which made it a lot easier during tabling.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, tabling is when all the clubs come out into, we all go out into the field that's in the center of campus. We set up a table, it has like more information,
Mm-hmm.
and you learn about each of the clubs. So all of the brand new students who have never been on campus before go to each one of the tables and ask questions and decide whether or not they would want to join that club.
Mm-hmm.
So both resonate as a on-campus club got to do their table, but we got to join the swing dance club for their table so that we have multiple areas where we're meeting students on campus,
Yeah,
which is really fun.
it was fun. There's even a couple students during that who had mentioned that they're Christians or looking for a church, and I've been able to go, oh, you should check out that table over there, or I'm part of the church. Do you want to get connected? That was really fun.
Mm.
And then people from that, there are a couple people from the dance party who still have stuck around. Like we're a good month into school, month and a half maybe. I think it's yeah. Anyway, but yeah, people recognizing us from the dance party, seeing us at the table really helped. Like, oh, these people are regulars, and uh, pretty fast track of becoming friends. There's two girls in particular during the dance party. Um, there's this awkward moment where there's music being played that not every group knew how to dance to. So there was me and some girls on the outskirts trying to get down to a song, and it's just not working. So I turn to the girls and I say, "Okay, what is your best white girl dance?" And there's these girls who specifically got really into it. I'm like, okay, these are my friends. And one of them too has been really like one of the most consistent people in our village and church. And then Abby, oh sorry, that girl's name's Ozzy. But Abby, she actually saw us swing dancing and was shoot, what is the term? It's called simping. I don't know how to explain that. It's a Gen Z term. Do you know simping?
I know what simping is. It's not a good thing.
It's not?
No,
Oh,
uh, that's okay.
okay. Well, what's the term? where they're like, oh, they're so cute.
Shipping.
Shipping.
Yeah, it's like you ship them off. You like
Yes.
hope that they do well.
Yeah, a lot of students saw us dancing and admired us a lot. Cause like, they're so cute. Are they gonna start dating? I had a couple girls come and like, hey, so do you have a thing for that guy? Do you happen to know him? Like, yeah, I just married him. And they're like, wow! One of those girls was Abby.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know what that you're talking about. This too many.
oh yeah, in our village, we have three Abbies. By the way, do you want to explain what village is? Sorry. Over the place.
I was gonna ask you that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Do you
Well,
want to tag team?
yeah, I
Okay,
can.
so Village is something really cool that Resonate has as like their primary or our primary method for reaching students. So we offer a free meal, dinner, games, hanging
Mm,
out, discussions, conversations, come and make new friends.
mm,
And it's our way of inviting what would be a scary situation to go to church first in to come and join some other friends for dinner and hanging out.
mm. Yeah, it really bridges the gap between a non believer and church is to experience gospel community. And a lot of people are like, wow, this is a really great community. They start to become softened to the idea of church because church is not a building or a program, it is a people. And so
Mm-hmm.
getting to experience it more relationally first is actually the biggest way we've seen people come to Jesus. So yeah, that's what Village is. And we have three Abbeys in our village, two cats, throw in a couple Josiahs. It's very fun. But how do I distinguish this Abby? Oh my goodness. She's the taller blonde one. All Abbeys are blonde.
Everyone here is tall, so I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, this Abby was at the party, thought we were so cute, and wanted to become our friends because of it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Also, very consistent person at relationship. Yeah. So funny.
Oh, I know who you're talking about
Yeah.
now.
hmm Okay, sweet. Um, yeah, what else stood out to you during the student week?
Just busyness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, lots of stress stood out to me. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Some spiritual warfare stuff. Um, some amazing things with some students, but definitely like tabling and becoming a part of
Mm-hmm.
the swing dance club has been a really great way to meet new people
Yeah.
and invite them to village.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been awesome. In fact, I don't know if you knew this, but we got to teach an ed session that first week, which ended up being the most attended ed session, which was for swing dancing, and which has just given us a much bigger reach, including in swing dance club.
Hmm.
I feel like has been pretty successful this time compared to previous years. Um, we should talk more about like students and some of their stories. Oh my goodness.
What students did you meet on campus?
Okay, so I actually have met this girl named Carl. She's named after her dad and has one of the funniest personalities. I'm talking to her and I'm like, oh, is this a Christian? Turns out she's a Mormon. But getting to know her a lot, she calls herself an evil Mormon. I'm like, who's that? And she says that there's a lot about the Mormon Church she doesn't agree with. Like, for example, they believe that the other three books of Scripture, Book of Mormon, Pro Great Christ, and Doctrines and Covenants, actually help align and correct the Bible. Like they believe the Bible is solid, but needs some like direction, I guess. She doesn't believe that. She's like, yeah, these other books are good, but I think of the Bible as like true scripture. I'm like, oh, I've never met a Mormon that would say that. Or she lays out a lot of the problems in the Mormon church that she doesn't agree with. So the more I'm talking to her, the more I'm like, she sounds more like a Christian to me than a Mormon, but there's still some underlining beliefs that she holds true to. Um, but is super down for those conversations, has been really bought into our community, and even like she doesn't necessarily attend our church, but she's actually been encouraging other people to go to our church, which is so funny.
Mm.
And also, I feel like I've met a number of other people who are also Mormon or ex-Mormon, or even just different religious backgrounds. That is so different than last year, because last year I was meeting a lot of students who had no religious context or background. So it's definitely different kinds of conversations I'm having, but it's been really good. Um, yeah, I have a lot of stories of different students, but I also want to highlight cats. We have two cats in Village, and I used to live with a girl named Kat. It gets confusing, but this cat in particular, this time last year, I met her in New Student Week, and the first thing she says to me is, I hate the Bible. Okay. And then some of you who've been with me throughout last year heard this story before, but there's been more development that I'll explain more. Um, Last year, just had lots of conversations with her while developing a friendship, asking her, okay, what's your research? Like, why do you hate the Bible? And she says, I've learned this and that. And then the more we got into it, the more we realized, okay, this is not solid evidence for why she believes the Bible is illegitimate. And so we started learning about the historical significance,
You got it.
significance and uh, the legitimacy behind the Bible. And she was even starting to say, okay, if these things are true, then everything I believe about it is wrong, and I seriously need to like reconsider how I view the Bible. Um, Fast forward, turns out over the summer, she actually started to grow a more of a desire for God, as she misses um, learning about God and being a part of His community. So this fall, she comes back and she's like, "Hey, I got my first Bible. Oh my goodness!" And we are nerding out over this thing. It is a student study Bible, and we're having so much fun. She's even taken on responsibility behind helping lead our Bible study on campus this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm in charge of bringing the tea. And this last week, a student was asking about the Trinity and how does that all work. And she's like, oh my goodness, we just talked about this last week. And so she's going over it, and she is very, honestly, she might have accepted the Lord already, but her and I need a follow up, like clarifying conversation. But this last week, I got to ask her about who's on the throne of her life, and to explain what that means is it her? Is she making all the decisions? And like, okay, God is not on the throne, but I think God's cool. He's a part of my life, but he's not like the person I submit to, right? And then the opposite is God on the throne, where she at the foot of the throne. She's a part of his life. And so she's like, that's where I want God to be, is on the throne. So I went on. Do you have any stories?
I've met a couple students. Been working and also meeting some coworkers, trying to invite them to Village or invite them to church or whatever. And it's really cool. One of my coworkers, he wants to join us after church for Sunday afternoon football. So
Yes.
definitely going to be inviting him to that, and we can talk about that more later. But there's two students that I've I've really like connected with.
Mm.
One of them, his name is Josiah, so I mean it's an easy in. He's a pastor's kid, and like he's trying to figure out how he can balance school and life and his relationship with Christ. And so um, it's really cool because I get to walk through some of that with him as I was just in that same season of life a few years ago. And getting to like challenge him on different ideas or scriptures, or getting to like more use that gifting God has given me to dig deeper rather than just the simple gospel share. So that's been something that's been really exciting for me. And then there's been this other guy named Irving, and he's been
Irving.
our most consistent guy to attend the village. He's super excited. He's part of the swing dance club, so it's easy in, and he's just this character. And we've had a couple like deeper conversations, and he asked like, "What is the difference?" It's really funny because he asked the question, "What is the difference between a Christian and a Catholic?" And it had to do with like a play that he was a part of, and I think he was part of Grease Lightning, and someone there asked something about the difference between Catholicism and Christianity. But the funny thing is, there was actually the president of the Catholic club on campus sitting right next to me, and he heard that, and he like turned to like join the conversation. It was really cool because the president of the Catholic club on campus has like come over to our house after village, hung out with us. We got to ask lots of questions, and he was like, "Wow, this is really cool." Even though there's some differences in what we believe, I love the aspect of community that your church has, and I think I'll continue coming back to village and making friends here. So it's been really cool to see how village can connect not only like believers and non-believers, but even believers who have differences in how we do church or how we understand scripture. So that's been really exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's been so cool. I want to talk so much more about it, but we have so many student stories. We'll share more next time. But yeah, um, how do you feel? How do you feel like marriage is going in the midst of what's it called? Uh,
Ministry?
Ministry. Yeah.
Uh, good. Marriage is good, but it definitely has its challenges. Like in the midst of ministry, I think the attacks of the enemy are way
Mm-hmm.
more like obvious, um, or subtle depending on who you are. But
Yeah.
like things become more spiritually challenging and taxing. Um, Time is one of those things that can be really hard to manage when you're married and
Mm-hmm.
doing ministry,
Mm-hmm.
because you want to have your first and primary ministry your marriage and to represent Christ through it, but you also want to go out and meet students, and when it's your job, you have to have that job slash work slash life slash marriage slash you know ministry
Mm-hmm.
balance. And so
Mm-hmm.
there's definitely been a lot of challenges and spiritual warfare within it.
Yeah. It's definitely been hard. I also think it's been really sweet because there are strengths that I know you have,
Mm.
but getting married, I get to experience it a lot more up close. And which we can talk more in detail later, but I've been really grateful for that. So yeah, marriage and ministry is hard. It's also really good. Mm-hmm.
It, I def I think both of us have definitely been learning like how important communication
Yeah,
is within marriage and ministry.
it's so hard, but it's so important.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. There's so many little times where we fumbled over like small miscommunications, but they end up making a big difference.
Mm.
Yeah, just how it is.
But
We're learning.
we're still in it for the long run, so
The marriage or the ministry?
marriage.
I was hoping you were gonna say both.
Well, I think I did by saying marriage. That is both.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Oh my goodness. Well, guys, we don't want to take too much of your time. So, thank you so much for watching this. And if you scroll to the bottom of this email, you're going to find a spot where you can actually put in prayer requests because as you guys are fighting for us in prayer, we would also love to fight for you in prayer.
Yeah.
So please, like, go ahead, fill it out. It's literally 2 questions. And then if you are not on our support team financially, but you want to pray and consider about it, we also have a button for that too. But thank you so much. I hope that this is a blessing to you as you are a blessing to us.
And then down down there as well, if you're getting our email, um, we should have a list of prayer requests
Mhm.
that we didn't have time to get to today. And if you're not a part of our support team and email group, and you're just finding this on YouTube somehow, reach out to us. Let us know. We'd love to add you to our prayer team, and we'd love for you to support us in the ministry that God's doing here in Mama.
Yeah. All right. See you later.
Bye.